Don't come back for me, Chief. Tyler Brooks forced the words through clenched teeth. Chief Petty Officer Megan Carter heard him clearly. She crouched behind a fractured concrete wall at the northern edge of the compound, rifle steady against her shoulder. Cold morning light spilled between abandoned buildings, turning suspended dust silver. Ahead, a man in a gray jacket crossed an alley. Daniel Mercer. Then he disappeared. 7 months of intelligence. 3 failed operations. And now Megan was closer than anyone had been. Her radio cracked. "Carter, stay on him." Lieutenant Commander Nathan Reed's voice was controlled. Megan leaned around the wall. Mercer appeared again for less than a second. No clean shot. But the route ahead was open. She could pursue. Behind her, Tyler lay beside a collapsed doorway, one hand pressed against his injured leg. Blood darkened the fabric beneath his fingers. Before we continue, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. And if you believe in courage and respect, hit like and subscribe. These stories inspire change. And we're glad you're here. Now, back to Megan. "Chief." Megan looked back. Tyler's face had gone pale. His rifle remained pointed toward the alley. "Recovery is coming," he said. "Save your energy. You heard Reed. So did you. Then go." Megan checked the southern approach. Nothing. No recovery team yet. Another burst of gunfire echoed somewhere inside the compound. Tyler swallowed hard. "You finally have him." Megan said nothing. "Don't lose this because of me." Her eyes returned to the northern passage. Mercer was moving farther away with every second. A successful capture would end months of work. People would remember who made it happen. Reed came over the radio again. "Carter, maintain pursuit. This is your window." Megan remained still. 1 second. 2. Tyler understood what she was considering. "Chief, please." She lowered her rifle. Turned around. And started back toward him. Tyler stared at her in disbelief. "What are you doing?" Megan dropped beside him and reached for his medical pouch. "Getting you out. You had the target. I know. You could have finished this." Megan looked at him. Earlier that morning, Tyler Brooks had been the newest operator in the room, worried that one mistake would prove he never belonged there. Now Megan Carter was about to make a choice everyone would remember. Not because it brought her glory. Because she was willing to walk away from it. At 0430, Tyler Brooks checked the same strap for the 3rd time. He thought nobody noticed. Megan Carter did. The staging bay smelled of canvas, gun oil, and coffee that had been sitting untouched for hours. Beneath cold fluorescent lights, veteran operators prepared with practiced efficiency. Magazines slid into pouches. Radios clicked through checks. Gloves tightened around wrists. Tyler stood near the end of the equipment table, trying to move exactly like everyone else. At 24, he was the newest operator assigned to the team. He had passed the training. Earned the qualification. Proved he could meet the standard. But none of that could make his first real mission feel familiar. "Brooks." Tyler looked up. A veteran operator nodded toward his vest. "You planning to inspect that thing all morning?" A few quiet laughs followed. Tyler forced a smile. "Just making sure everything's right." It was right 5 minutes ago. Tyler looked down and checked his radio again. Megan continued preparing her equipment. She had seen nerves wear different faces. Some operators became loud. Others stopped talking completely. Tyler checked things. Every magazine, strap, and radio setting gave his hands something to control. He reached for his helmet. Megan noticed the loose strap beneath his left shoulder. She crossed the room. Tyler straightened when she stopped in front of him. "Chief." Megan reached down. Click. She tightened the buckle. "You missed one." Tyler looked at it. "I checked that." "You checked around it." His face reddened. He glanced toward the others. Megan didn't. She tugged the strap once to test it. "Now it's right." Then she turned away. "That's it?" Tyler asked. Megan stopped. He immediately regretted the question. "No lecture. You need one." "No, Chief." "Then don't ask for one." She picked up her rifle. Tyler hesitated. "Any advice?" Megan studied him. "Stop trying to convince everyone you belong here." The words landed harder than the laughter. Tyler's expression tightened. Megan continued. "You passed selection. You're here." She nodded toward his gear. "Now do the job." Then she walked toward the briefing room. Tyler remained beside the table. For the first time that morning, he stopped checking his equipment. He looked at the buckle she had tightened. Hours later, wounded behind a collapsed doorway, Tyler would remember that small click. Because long before Megan Carter chose to come back for him, she had already shown him something he hadn't understood yet. The best operators noticed what everyone else overlooked. Lieutenant Commander Nathan Reed closed the briefing room door at 0445. The room went quiet. A satellite image filled the screen behind him. Dry ridgelines surrounded an abandoned industrial compound, its narrow alleys and broken structures marked with routes, observation points, and extraction corridors. Megan Carter sat near the back. Tyler took the chair beside her. Reed changed the image. A photograph appeared. Daniel Mercer. 7 months. 3 operations. 3 escapes. Nobody moved. Last night, intelligence confirmed movement through this compound. Small security detail. Limited window. A red line appeared across the eastern approach. Carter leads the final approach. Megan studied the map without reacting. Tyler glanced toward her. A veteran across the table leaned back. "Guess somebody wants this finished." Another operator smiled. "If Carter gets close enough, it will be." Megan ignored both comments. Reed continued. "Brooks stays with Carter's element." The room changed. Not dramatically. Just enough. One operator looked at Tyler. "Brooks?" Reed nodded. "With respect, sir, this isn't a training run." Tyler stared at the screen. "He's qualified," Reed said. "Qualified isn't experienced." The operator looked toward Megan. "You comfortable carrying a rookie through this?" Megan finally raised her eyes. She turned toward Tyler. "Your assignment? Rear security until final approach. Primary responsibility? Maintain sector awareness and spacing. Comms? Checked. Medical? Checked." Megan looked across the table. "Then he'll either learn today or prove you right." Silence. Reed continued the briefing. Tyler didn't hear much of the next 10 seconds. He wasn't sure whether Megan had defended him or challenged him. Maybe both. When the briefing ended, operators filed into the corridor. Tyler caught up with her. "Chief." Megan kept walking. "You didn't have to do that." "Do what?" "Back me." She stopped. "I didn't." Tyler frowned. "You just told them. I told them you have a chance." She stepped closer. "That isn't the same thing." Tyler hesitated. "Do you trust me?" Megan answered immediately. No, the word hit harder than he expected. Then she added, "Not yet." She continued toward the staging bay. Tyler remained in the corridor for a moment. He had expected ridicule from the veterans. He had expected reassurance from Megan. She had given him neither. Only a standard. And a chance to meet it. Tyler followed her. He still wanted to prove he belonged. Before the morning was over, he would learn that wanting to prove yourself could make you faster. It could also make you miss the one thing that mattered. The first mistake lasted less than 2 seconds. It was almost enough. Megan led the element through a narrow ravine east of the compound, moving beneath a pale morning sky. Dry earth shifted under their boots. Broken rock rose on both sides, turning the route into a natural corridor. Tyler stayed several yards behind her. So far, he had done everything right. Spacing. Sector awareness. Radio discipline. He had stopped wondering whether the veterans were watching him. Then he saw movement above the ridge. A shadow. Quick. Tyler raised his rifle and stepped left for a better angle. Megan's hand struck his chest. Stop. He froze. She pointed down. A thin line ran through the dust inches from Tyler's boot, nearly invisible against the ground. It disappeared beneath loose debris beside the ravine wall. Tyler slowly moved his foot back. His mouth went dry. Megan signaled the others around the hazard. Nobody laughed. Nobody looked at Tyler longer than necessary. That somehow made it worse. The team continued until they reached cover near an abandoned structure. Megan stopped. Brooks. Tyler approached. I saw movement. So did I. I thought I could get a better angle. You could. Tyler waited. Megan looked directly at him. But you stopped seeing everything else. He lowered his eyes. I was trying to help. No, her voice remained quiet. You were trying to be first. Tyler didn't answer. Because she was right. Megan stepped closer. Speed gets attention. She glanced toward the terrain behind them. Judgment gets people home. Tyler swallowed. Understood. Megan turned away. No humiliation. No speech. The lesson was over. 30 minutes later, they reached the outer buildings. Tyler caught a faint reflection from a second-floor window. His rifle almost came up. Almost. Instead, he watched. Waited. The reflection appeared again. This time he saw the shape behind it. Tyler quietly touched Megan's shoulder and pointed. She followed his line of sight. A figure moved away from the window. Megan signaled the team into cover. Then she looked back at Tyler. One small nod. Nothing more. But Tyler understood what it meant. Not trust. Not yet. Something closer. His radio clicked. Reed's voice came through. Carter, new intelligence. Mercer is moving northwest. Megan's expression changed. How solid. Confirmed. This may be our best window. She looked toward the compound. The team prepared to move. Tyler tightened his grip on his rifle. For the first time that morning, he wasn't thinking about proving he belonged. He was watching. Listening. Learning. And that was exactly when the mission began to fall apart. Carter, Mercer is moving now. Reed's voice came through the radio as Megan reached the eastern edge of the compound. She dropped behind a fractured concrete barrier and raised her binoculars. 3 figures crossed an opening between 2 abandoned buildings. The man in the center wore a gray jacket. Daniel Mercer. 7 months. 3 failed operations. Finally, he was here. Positive identification, Megan said. Maintain contact. Megan signaled forward. The team moved. Tyler followed several yards behind her, watching windows, rooftops, and the broken ground. Beneath his boots. No rushing. No trying to be first. They crossed one alley. Then another. Megan caught another glimpse of Mercer through a gap between buildings. Less than 200 yards. He appeared for barely a second. No clean shot. Then he disappeared behind cover. Target continuing northwest. Copy, Reed answered. Southern element is closing. Megan accelerated. Tyler moved with her. For the first time that morning, everything felt right. Then a sharp crack split the air. Concrete burst from the wall beside Megan. Contact. The team scattered into cover. Another burst struck the alley behind Tyler. Megan dropped behind a concrete block. Upper West Side. An operator shifted to cover the angle. Tyler saw movement farther right. His rifle started upward. Then he stopped. Watched. Waited. A second flash appeared. Right building, second floor. Megan followed his direction. Confirmed. One small word. But Tyler heard what wasn't said. She trusted what he had seen. The team adjusted positions. Then gunfire cut between Megan and Tyler. Brooks, hold. Tyler moved toward the nearest cover. Loose rubble shifted beneath his boot. His balance went. He dropped hard behind a collapsed wall as another burst tore through the space he had occupied. Pain ripped through his leg. His radio struck concrete. Brooks. Megan. Tyler tried to stand. His injured leg folded beneath him. I'm hit. How bad? He pressed his hand against his thigh. Leg. Can you move? Tyler tried again. No. Megan looked northwest. Mercer appeared at the far end of an alley. Still no safe shot. But the route after him remained open. Reed had heard the exchange. Carter, recovery element is inbound. Maintain pursuit. How long? 8 minutes. Megan looked toward Tyler's position. Then toward Mercer. Chief, Tyler said. She didn't answer. Go. Gunfire cracked somewhere behind him. Closer. I can hold here. Megan raised her rifle and moved forward. 10 yards. Mercer disappeared behind another building. Don't lose him because of me, Tyler said. Megan stopped. Reed's voice came immediately. Carter, stay on the objective. Ahead was the best chance they had ever had. Behind her was the newest man on the team. Tyler tightened his grip on his rifle. Go, Chief. Megan stood motionless between the two directions. For one long second, nobody knew which way she would turn. Megan watched the alley where Mercer had disappeared. 1 second. Then 2. Carter, Reed said through the radio. Continue pursuit. Megan lowered her rifle. Negative. Silence followed. Repeat. I'm breaking pursuit. Recovery is inbound. They're not there yet. Carter, Mercer is the priority. Megan turned around. I understand. Then she ran back toward Tyler. Every step carried her farther from the objective. She crossed the first opening low and fast, staying close to the fractured walls. Brooks. Static. Brooks, answer me. A breath came through the radio. Still here. Stay that way. Tyler gave a strained laugh. Not exactly going anywhere. Megan reached the collapsed wall. Tyler sat against the concrete, rifle covering the alley, one hand pressed against his wounded thigh. Relief crossed his face when he saw her. Then frustration. What are you doing? Megan dropped beside him. Let me see your leg. You had Mercer. I did. You were right behind him. I know. She opened his medical kit and checked the wound. Tyler stared at her. Then why are you here? Megan tightened the dressing. Because you're still here. Tyler looked away. He's getting away because of me. Megan stopped. No, I got separated. You got hit. And you lost the target. I made that choice. Gunfire echoed from somewhere north of them. Megan checked the route south. Still no recovery team. She pulled Tyler's arm across her shoulders. Can you stand? I think so. Don't think. Try. Tyler pushed upward. His injured leg touched the ground. Pain crossed his face. His knee buckled. Megan caught him. Again. He breathed through clenched teeth and forced himself upright. This time he stayed there. One step. Then another. Slow. Uneven. Moving. Tyler glanced northwest. Mercer was gone. You threw away 7 months. Megan adjusted his weight. Targets can be found again. What if he can't? She looked at him. You can't. Tyler had no answer. They reached the corner of the wall. Open ground separated them from the next position. Megan scanned the upper windows. On 3. Tyler nodded. 1. Movement. Megan saw it first. Down. She shoved Tyler behind the wall. A sharp crack split the air. Megan twisted as a round grazed her upper arm. She dropped beside him. For a moment, Tyler simply stared. Blood spread across her sleeve. Chief. Megan pressed herself against the concrete and kept her rifle ready with her uninjured arm. I'm fine. Tyler looked at the wound. Then at her. No, you're not. Megan had turned away from the mission to bring him home. Now, for the first time that morning, Tyler understood that getting home might depend on him. Chief, stop. Megan looked at Tyler. Another shot struck the concrete above them, scattering dust across their shoulders. I said I'm fine. Tyler glanced at the blood darkening her sleeve. And I said you're not. For the first time since the mission began, there was no nervousness in his voice. Megan checked her arm. The round had grazed the outside of her upper arm. Painful. Bleeding. But her hand still worked. Her radio cracked. Carter, recovery is 3 minutes out. Can you reach the drainage channel south of your position? Megan looked across the open ground. 30 yards. Broken walls covered the first half. The final stretch had almost nothing. Affirmative. She tried to pull Tyler upright. Pain tightened across her shoulder. Tyler saw it. You can't carry me. I don't need to. You came back for me. Brooks, then let me bring you back. Megan went still. Tyler shifted closer and pulled her uninjured arm across his shoulder. She resisted. Your leg. Still attached. That isn't an answer. It'll have to be. Despite herself, Megan almost smiled. Gunfire cracked again. Tyler started to turn toward it. Then stopped. He remembered the ravine. Speed gets attention. Judgment gets people home. Instead of reacting, he watched the windows. Waited. A shadow moved behind broken glass. Second floor, he whispered. Moving left. Megan followed his line of sight. Good. Reed came over the radio. Carter, recovery has your position. Stand by for cover. Seconds later. Controlled fire sounded from the southern approach. Megan looked at Tyler. That's our window. They moved. One wall. Then the next. Tyler's injured leg dragged with every step. Megan kept her wounded arm close to her body. Neither could move quickly. Together, they kept moving. 15 yards. 20. Megan stumbled. Tyler caught her. His face tightened from the weight. "Keep going," she said. "I know." They reached the final stretch. A shot struck concrete behind them. Tyler didn't look back. For the first time that morning, he wasn't trying to be faster than anyone. He wasn't trying to prove he belonged. He was doing exactly what the moment required. The recovery team appeared near the drainage channel. 2 operators moved forward under cover. Tyler helped Megan across the last few yards before both dropped behind protection. Only then did he release her. Megan leaned against the concrete, breathing hard. Tyler looked at her. "You trusted me." She met his eyes. "Just now." Tyler almost laughed. Megan gave him the smallest nod. "Good judgment, Brooks." 3 words. That was all. But Tyler understood what they meant. This morning, Megan Carter had given him a chance. Now, wounded beside her while the recovery team closed around them, Tyler realized he had finally earned something more valuable. Her trust. The helicopter touched down just after sunrise. No one was waiting with congratulations. Megan Carter stepped onto the tarmac with her wounded arm secured against her chest. Tyler Brooks followed on crutches, his injured leg wrapped beneath his uniform. Lieutenant Commander Nathan Reed waited outside the hangar. His eyes went to Megan. Then Tyler. Then the empty space behind them. Mercer was gone. "Medical first," Reed said. Megan stopped. "Debrief first." "That wasn't a suggestion, Chief." 5 minutes. Reed studied her, then nodded toward the hangar. Inside, the noise of the helicopter faded. Reed placed a tablet on the table. "You had positive identification?" "Yes, sir." "You had a viable pursuit route?" "Yes." "And you were ordered to maintain contact?" "Yes." Tyler shifted on his crutches. Reed looked directly at Megan. "You broke pursuit." "I did." "Knowing recovery was inbound?" "Yes." Tyler stepped forward. "Sir, it was my fault." Megan turned. "Brooks. I got separated. I got hit. She had Mercer until I, stop." Tyler fell silent. Megan faced Reed again. "Brooks didn't make that decision." Reed folded his arms. "Who did?" "I did." No hesitation. No explanation designed to make the choice sound heroic. Reed watched her for a moment. Recovery estimated 8 minutes. Megan waited. They reached Brooks's original position in 11. Tyler looked up. Reed continued. Hostile movement entered that sector in 4. The room became quiet. Tyler understood the numbers immediately. If Megan had continued after Mercer, he would have been alone for 7 minutes after the threat reached him. Maybe he would have survived. Maybe he wouldn't. "Mercer escaped," Reed said. "Yes, sir. There will be an operational review." "Understood. You may be asked why you disregarded a direct order." "I'll answer." "And if command determines you made the wrong call?" Megan glanced toward Tyler. "Only once." Then she looked back at Reed. "I'll own it." Tyler tightened his grip on the crutches. He wanted to speak. Megan saw it. "Don't." "But Chief, you answer for your decisions, Brooks." "A beat." "I answer for mine." Reed closed the tablet. "Get to medical. Both of you." Megan turned toward the door. Tyler remained still. He had spent the morning believing leadership meant knowing the correct answer before everyone else. Now he understood something harder. Sometimes there was no perfect answer. Only a choice. And the willingness to stand behind it after the danger was over. "Chief." Megan stopped at the doorway. Tyler looked at her. Was I worth losing, Mercer? For the first time, her expression softened. You're asking the wrong question. What should I be asking? Megan held his gaze. Whether you'll make being brought home worth something. Then she walked through the door. Tyler stood in silence. Megan Carter had chosen him over Glory. Now the choice belonged to him. What kind of man would he become because she had? 3 weeks later, Tyler Brooks checked his equipment once. Only once. The staging bay looked exactly as it had on the morning of his first mission. Cold fluorescent lights. Metal tables. The familiar smell of canvas, coffee, and gun oil. But Tyler no longer looked like the man who had stood there checking the same strap 3 times. His leg had healed enough for duty, though a slight stiffness remained in his walk. Across the room, Megan Carter secured her vest. Her upper arm had healed, but she still moved it carefully when pulling the final strap into place. Neither mentioned the scars. Come on. A frustrated voice came from the equipment lockers. A young operator named Jake Miller was struggling with his vest. First assignment. First operational deployment. Tyler recognized the expression immediately. Jake checked his radio. Then his magazines. Then his shoulder straps. Then his radio again. 2 veteran operators noticed. You planning to inspect that thing all morning, Miller? Quiet laughter followed. Jake smiled because everyone else did. Tyler didn't. He saw what Megan had seen weeks earlier. Not incompetence. Nerves. Then he noticed the loose strap beneath Jake's shoulder. Tyler crossed the room. Hold up. Jake froze. What? Tyler reached down. Click. He tightened the buckle. You missed one. Jake looked down. I checked it. You checked around it. Across the staging bay, Megan stopped. Tyler tested the strap once. Fix it once. Remember it forever. Jake waited for the joke. It never came. Thanks. Tyler nodded and walked away. Megan watched him. Then gave the smallest nod. That was enough. Later, Tyler found her standing near the open hangar doors. Morning sunlight stretched across the runway. Chief. Megan looked over. Can I ask you something? You usually do. Tyler smiled. Then became serious. Do you regret turning around? Megan knew exactly what he meant. Mercer. He nodded. You had him. Maybe your best chance. Megan looked toward the runway. New intelligence had placed Mercer in another region 2 days earlier. The hunt wasn't over. Targets moved. Missions continued. Do you regret losing him? Tyler asked. Megan adjusted her glove. Targets come and go, Brooks. She looked at him. People don't. Tyler lowered his eyes. I thought. Being here meant proving I deserved it. It doesn't. I know that now. Megan started toward the briefing room. Chief. She stopped. Thank you for coming back. For once, Megan didn't answer immediately. Her eyes moved toward Jake inside the staging bay. Then back to Tyler. Make it worth something. She walked away. Tyler remained by the hangar doors. Weeks earlier, he had believed glory was what separated great operators from everyone else. Now he understood. Glory was loud. Respect was quieter. Sometimes it was turning away from the mission everyone would remember. Sometimes it was carrying home the person who had come back for you. And sometimes it was simply noticing a loose buckle before someone else paid the price. Respect was never demanded. It was earned in the choices no one celebrated.